Gemini, good morning, how are you? So don't forget you can watch this as a life path 6, Gemini or Capricorn, because on the top of a Gemini card is a number 6, exactly the same as it is as a Gemini. So if you're following me in numerology, they may relate if you also watch a Capricorn reading. So anyway, regardless of whether you have Cappy in your chart or not. So, Geminis, how are you guys? Let's see what you've got coming up for your Hell Loop reading. Something that is very repetitious and cycles that I hopefully can try and get you out of. So, Gemini's Hell Loop reading. What they got coming up, please, for Gemini's Hell Loop reading. So, you got 10 of Wands, so I'm basically just concentrating on work. It's a heavy burden at the moment, but... oh, dear. Now, this came out when I was pre-shuffling, when I was thinking about Gemini. So a lot of you have got a lot of argumentative energy around where you're working, even if it's tarot. You're kind of like working, and these are people that are complaining that you're not working, that you're working too much, that you're not working enough, and whatever it is that you do at work, people are complaining about your work. I'm not happy with what you're giving me. I'm not happy with what you're doing. So someone is never fucking happy, Gemini. Now, this could be where I work from home also. Things like that can be working. And then the Five of Swords is like, oh, this is not working. I thought it was working, but it isn't working out. Some of you might be finding it very difficult to work out, which means that I might be finding it very difficult to go out. And every time I go out, I always seem to get into an argument with someone. But it might be where I'm just internally struggling with going out because I'm hearing working out. So that would also mean, like, if you're on a diet or anything like that, I'm struggling with my diet because I'm struggling to work out, which means basically exercise and stuff like that. Because my workload is too much, I don't have any free time. So it can be like an internal struggle, Gemini. Now, this might just be someone that's internally struggling within their mind with you here, okay, whether to work on something or not. Now, obviously, if you've got exes or you've got ex-husbands or wife, they're obviously playing a lot of mind games, manipulation, or you are to them, whichever way around it is. Let's see, Gemini's Hell Loop. So we've got the Hangman, a Pisces, what do you know? So you could have this in your chart somewhere. So there's an ultimate ending here. So there's a monotonous energy where some of you have had that many arguments with this person. It's just over. 5 and 1 is 6, which means another Gemini or a Capricorn placement. Place, if I say place, you say cod, haddock, fish. Place, cod. So you might be eating fish or dealing with a Piscean, or they are dealing with you. Because whichever way it is, if you're arguing with someone, they see it as if they're always having to deal with you, and you're always seeing it as if you have to deal with them. So if you're not dealing with anybody at all, then this is someone else's reading, and it'll probably come across as a parenting thing here, because that will be the 6 of Swords. Parents, children. Let's see. Hell Loop reading, please, for Gemini. So you got Aries or Scorpio or Life Path 4 energies. I do pick up that this is a lot to do with the people that are all going through separation and divorce in the Piscean reading, and it could be with a Gemini. It wouldn't be you guys that are watching, obviously, unless you're a Gemini and you're watching here saying, yes, I'm been or getting divorced from this person, but I definitely feel like separation, that's for sure. I feel like that the Emperor in different readings came up with the 9 of Wands for someone out there, not you guys that are watching, for somebody out there, was, because that's the trouble, you see, you get people that are watching saying, well, I'm a good Aries and I'm watching, but then you'll get someone saying, no, I've been dealing with a Scorpio or a Life Path 4, and I don't get on with them, right? So what I'm picking up is that someone's dealing with a very controlling person, okay? Physically dealing with them, okay, on a daily basis. So this is not a good arena to step in, or Maureen or Maria, Melissa, Maria, Michael Jackson, Julian. But this is not a very good arena to be focusing on getting with this person here, okay? Because they're just dealing with an ex constantly, I feel, and what they will be doing is constantly going through the same hell loop, like going through the same thing, doing the same thing, hell loop, hell loop, hell loop, and going through it and going through it and going through it, okay? Gemini, what's coming up for Gemini's hell loop, please? So you got the 3 of Cups, you got something good coming up, but then all of a sudden it's bad. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a monotonous energy. Someone is still, regardless of whichever way you look at it, someone's still connected to their husband or their ex-husband or wife, I really do feel. Because the 2 major arcana cards are the Emperor and the Hangman. This cannot just be a general relationship. It can't just be a general relationship. So The Three of Cups is definitely just this, like, not wanting the connection but still connected. Now, that would mean be mortgage, husband, wife, separation. It would mean my job, that like I work with this person and they're at my job place, blah, blah, blah. And I have to deal with the person at work all the time as well. Okay. But I am picking up that the majority of this must be to do with an ex energy here. So, Gemini, what they got coming up for their hell loop, please? So you got the Queen of Wands. You have got a Aries, Leo, Sagittarian kind of coming in. It feels like this monotonous energy that just keeps going around and around and around. You got 6 and 1, which is 7 of Swords. Sorry, my stomach is really playing havoc with me this morning. It's like this every time I try to move on, do I get pulled back? I try to move on, I get pulled back. I try to move on, I get pulled back. Now, that might be just within my mind, and it might be where I'm lost and I feel like I don't know direction, okay? And I don't know whether I'm going backwards or forward. Should I go back into an ex relationship? Should I continue to go forwards and just like move on? Or Yvonne or Evie? Devi? Let's see. Gemini. So you got 10 of Cups, the 8 of Cups. You've got a shitload of stuff that doesn't make any sense. Is it Libra or Life Path 2? Not making any sense. It's kind of like this. I'm trying to move on, right? I'm trying to move on. I keep trying to move on. I keep trying to move on and try to be happy. And I'm just going to leave this all together. So for some of you, this couple or these people here are just constantly arguing with an ex, I believe. Like, just always going over with an ex-husband or a wife. I really do keep picking that up. 8 of Cups. Gemini, what's coming up for Gemini, please? Gemini for their hell loop reading. So the Wheel of Fortune and the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, I got a feeling it is. Because you got 3, 3 and 3. And it's just the same representation. So for the new people, you may have not have discovered. For the older people that have always watching me, you'll know that I'm just going to bring up the divorce case. Someone's trying to get divorced and separated from a person. There might be someone that you want to hear from or you enjoy speaking to. This is like, I really enjoy speaking to you, but this one I'm picking up more along the lines of just, because it's been coming up in Pisces reading for a while, and there they are with a 3 and a 3 and a 3 here. So it's just showing me a hell loop of, I can't get out of this karmic situation, I can't seem to get out of this hell, because I'm still attached to a mortgage, to rent, to money, to an ex, to a husband, okay? And I can't seem to get out of it. So basically, whichever way it is, I think these people are basically just waiting to get divorced and waiting until that comes up. I don't know if you or if it's they are looking for reconciliation. I don't think so, but they might be, because they keep coming back into each other's life. Now, that might be karmically to wrap things up, which means that we need to finalize this. Now, that can be something that is coming up here, Gemini, for you of like just an ex, and we need to finalize the decision, because this is a decision. Do you want to get back together or don't you? 3 is a commitment, okay? So if you look at the 3 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, it's waiting for one and then heartbreak. But when it comes to 3 of Pentacles, it's, do you want to work on this or not? Okay, so do you want to go back into a relationship to work on it? Okay, so it's kind of like this where if it isn't involving marriage and separation, it's kind of like, do you want to work on this relationship that we have or don't you? Do you want a relationship or don't you? Do you want to work together or don't you want to work together? Do you want to try to work on more of an amicable level and a sensible level or don't you? And it's kind of like those questions that are present within this reading, Gemini. I keep thinking that these people keep getting pulled back karmically because it's like this. Well, for one of the messages that are here of why they keep getting pulled back into this hell, because this is hell, this is Capricorn energy right here. So because it's karmic energy. So why I keep getting pulled back into this is because of the separation that these two might come through. Because if I start clarifying these cards on the other side of intimidation, and intimidation comes up, it's someone that is intimidating someone that won't divorce them, but the divorce is constantly trying to be instigated by the person, but they keep trying to get out of it. So they're waiting for a court date. Okay, so basically this is a single person here. A single person that may not be looking for a relationship because they are constantly still dealing with an ex. Like, they're not ready for a relationship. This is a knot, this is a knot, and this is a knot. Because they're hangman swinging on a tree, not. Afraid so, afraid not. So this person here is passing up on opportunities of new energies because they're not ready. Because it's Eddie or Edwin or Edmonds or Ed or E or Emily or Emily, Melissa, Maria, Michael Jackson. Anybody who was like E or M, okay? But like, they're not ready because, like I said, there's two stories. Stay there. Sorry, Gemini, I'm trying to get these out. The story that relates to people that are trying to get divorced, they are not ready to move on from each other because they're still dealing with each other. Because they've still got each other in each other's lives, and it might be because of children. So they're not ready to leave each other. And it might, like I said, it's either because one of them keeps trying to reconcile, or the other one of them or both of them don't want to reconcile, but they're still waiting for the court to make a decision. They're still waiting for the decision to go to court. Okay, so they have to wait for that. Now, whether that's because there's salty energy, which means that you keep fucking annoying me and blah, 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 and Six of Swords that relate to this one, where you just keep coming in and out of my life, backwards and forwards, then you're in, then you're out, then you're in, then you're out, and then you come back and then you go. I think that might be present because they have a family together here, and that is what keeps causing this hell loop. Now, I don't know if there are present feelings for this person, because I am feeling that there is slight amount of intimidation that's going to come up when I clarify the cards here. Okay, Eight of Swords to me can also represent needing a restraining order, or I have a restraining order, but if I don't have a restraining order with this person, this is where they keep coming over when I'm at home. When I'm at home on my own here, Eight of Swords is normally when they come back with news. Now, that's either like, I've been hoping for you to come over with good news, but, so it might be, it's kind of changing. I'm starting to see different patterns of behaviour here. So there might be this, as you progress through your week, this person starts to come into the fold of like, maybe saying, okay, have you heard any news, blah, 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 what's going on? And there could be some news that is given to a person because they're coming to the Eight of Swords. So it's like maybe inviting someone over. Do you want to come over to the Eight of Swords and discuss this? Do you want to give me a ring and discuss this? Do you want to get married? That can also be a ring. Do you want to give me a ring? Okay, now if that isn't, that's just more of a 7 days energy. Okay, I'll give you a call and I'll just see about coming over. Now, sometimes the Eight of Swords, when you're going through separation of a divorce, there has to be permission first. So I have to have permission by this person to be able to come over. So we need to speak. Now, if these couple here of two energies, one being that they are trying to get separated and divorced through these three energies, karmically, they keep like instigating one another because they have to keep coming back into each other's life. Now, that's either to ring each other and call each other because of the children that may be involved in the family, or they have to keep interacting with each other because they're just playing a daft game with one another of kiss and cat chase. Okay, fuck you, okay, yes, no, no, yes, no. And that kind of goes on, and we only need to communicate for the children, but one of them might just be happy, you know, happy that that person's there, but they're still annoying each other here. So if, for you guys that are going through this divorce, if there isn't reconciliation on the cards, it's like I said, it's basically just waiting for this day, waiting for more information, because this can be, I need to talk to you. Okay, and I need to talk to you on more of a sensible level about what the court is going to say. Have you got your paperwork done? Have you got this done? Have you got that done? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, Putchie. So there's that like workload energy there. So that is for the divorcing kind of couple. Now, if you are involved as a single part of Gemini somewhere, okay, and you are attached to this person somehow within a trine, they're still not ready for an open relationship because they're still going through that. They're finalizing it all, which means that, well, like I said, some people, they can be married, but they deal with like a very narcissistic ex and they don't want a relationship because they're still dealing with that. Sometimes they're dealing with an ex, they're not in love with the ex, but they are still going through the finalization of that. And some people might be open to like, well, I'm not married, so I can still go into a relationship. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Some people are kind of like, no, you know, I don't want a relationship. I'm getting divorced. That's my main focus. That's what I'm kind of going through. Okay. Now, if there's no marriage, no children involved here, if this is just a separated energy between two people, like a separated energy, then it's kind of like this. My work is pissing me off. I'm kind of really getting annoyed about what could be going on around my work. This is where Steve gets a load of shit from people on the internet. Okay, being the hangman here. And then, like, as life starts to progress through the hell loop of the week, there's energies of maybe someone looking to maybe ring someone to reconcile. 8 of Swords, hoping of good news. Queen of Wands means Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I'm kind of looking to hook up with you somehow. 6 of Swords would be because I want you to come over and to reconcile and talk about reconciliation. If it, like I said, both people have to be in an line to reconcile. If one of you isn't, you can't. Okay, you both have to be in a line to reconcile if that's what you want. So what I'm hearing is that someone may want reconciliation from just a split up energy. Okay. This would then also be going to see a person and then leaving a person once I get there. So it's kind of like for the people that are getting divorced, they come over and they leave and they go back to the other woman or the man that created this divorce and separation in the first place. Because they come back to me, have an argument, play mind games, and then they go back off to the other woman or man, and they do that, and then they keep coming back here, and we keep going through the same hell loop over and over and over and over again. Now, if you're metaphysically connected to this person, and you're holding up your hopes that one day they may leave this person, I really don't know. So it's up to you whether you want to keep continuing on that path or not. But I do keep picking up that someone keeps going back to one because of maybe the children, and then going back to the other one, and that's where they leave, they go to the other person, because you've got 3 energy here, Pisces, 3 energy here of like hoping for some news. Did you get any news? Have you done anything at court yet? No, not yet, but I am feeling happy because I'm with someone else. So they go off with another woman or a man, and that's where they go. And the other woman or the other man that the person could be indicative with could have a 3 placement, which means that it would mean the Empress. That's the piece on the side, the mistress, if you like, someone that's married and they have a mistress. That's a 3, okay? So I go back to see the other woman, okay? So that other woman could have some of these in their chart, which means Pisces, 3. That's why you're getting these 3. It could be a life path 3, or somewhere within their chart is got this 3 placement. Okay. Now, like I said, I keep going back to this coupled energy. If it isn't anything to do with like marriage and separation, then it could be the person that you're dealing with is getting married and separated, and you're just a part of that between the other woman and the person. Okay. Trying to, you know, well, like I said, you know, you do what you want there. But for you guys that are really not relating to this married coupled person, and you're just like single, pringle, prudish, backstabbing bitch person, whatever you are, right? And you're just single as a Pringle, and you are like, man, I'm just a fish swinging on a fucking tree like a Pringle. It's kind of like people are still hackling at a Piscean. I've got to stick up for myself because I'm a Gemini. I got 3 placements of Gemini, and I am a Piscean, right? So I just get it out of nowhere. Like, my karmic energy is shit. Like, for I know it, some motherfucker's coming out and slapping me up the ear hole for nothing. Like, you know. So yeah, you can have karmic energy wherever you go. So show me Gemini's hell loop reading, please, here. So you got 4 of Cups, uninterested dickhead. Like I said, there's a turned down and a turned off offer here. So someone could really have or has or are giving up opportunities of love for more of a lust energy of non-trust, which means that the person that I was with, I loved at one point, but the love now is gone more to I don't trust the person that I love. So one of these might just be giving up their whole life just to deal with the person that's lusting after someone else. You know, you went off with another woman or a man and you're lusting after someone else, and I can't believe I'm still connected to this because you keep going off with someone else. But every time you come back to me, I just reject you and you just keep going back off to them. And you come back to me and I reject you and you keep going back off to them. So you've kind of got this energy of a person that keeps coming backwards and in and out of a relationship that just seems to be signs that are trying to show you don't keep getting involved in this circumstance. If it is the fact that you're waiting for divorce, keep looking for reconciliation. Now, if there isn't anything to do with divorce, it is more of a, I really don't know whether I need to be opening up or not here. I'm very unsure. What should I be doing? Going back to my ex, continue to remain single, continue to go forward and just reject this person when they come at me? Okay. Because some people here are giving up on new people completely and utterly, giving up on new people for the sake of the old person, which means that I'm giving up on new relationships with new people because the majority of my time is took up with all the swords that are here, with all of the contemplation and the mind games and the manipulation and the argumentative energy, okay, and they're not getting anywhere energy, and the majority of my time is taken up by that. So they're not ready to go forward yet. I think someone here does have someone in mind, knowing that they possibly could have or choose a different person. I just don't think that they are deciding to do that because they're not opening up to the possibility of it. Okay. But there is love here, but it could be one-sided, meaning I've got a connection with you, but you don't have a connection with me. But I've got one with you, but you don't have it with me. So it's kind of like that. I've got a connection with you, but you don't have a connection with me. Okay. Because it has to be accepted. You know, if someone makes an offer to someone, they have to say yes. Because 6 and 1 is 7. So in order to go forward, it's basically just reaching out to someone to see if they'll say yes. Now, this could be someone that's coming into your life, but I definitely am seeing an offer coming in to offer this energy here, maybe with another Gemini placement somewhere. So Scorpio, Cappy, Gemini maybe are making an offer of this, but it really, 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 really does depend on how we clarify these cards, because I'm seeing a lot of confusion between exes and new people here, okay, and maybe reconciliation of what one other may want here. Normally, you can go off on your path, Gemini, or cross-watchers, and you can go off on your path and you can get separated, and then sometimes you feel this innate feeling that you are being pulled in a direction to meet someone new, and then you meet someone new and they reject you, and you're kind of like, oh, well, I met someone new and they rejected me. What was the point in the split up? Well, we split up because we didn't get on. And someone else come into my life, I offered and they said no, and I got rejected. And then I think that I'm supposed to be single. But then all of a sudden an ex comes back to reconcile, and what am I supposed to do spiritually? Go back with an ex? Or am I supposed to remain positive and single on my own and not bother with love? So it's kind of like that very confused hell loop of what am I supposed to be doing? You know, am I supposed to be seeing my ex? Am I supposed to be meeting someone in the future? Or am I supposed to just be waiting for the time to be right? Okay, so that's kind of the story that I've got for you, Gemini. If you wish to join Patreon, it will be the silver or gold tier. Hold on. Hold your horses. Actually, no, we're going to do it on the other side. So I'm going to draw you 3 cards of these, which is what's in the tea to be aware of, and see if they relate to any of these messages that are here to be very cautious or careful of energy that seems to be coming at you through here. Okay, so I'll be clarifying these energies with those. Then what we do is we draw you 3 main cards down here to represent your outcome and what to do and what not to do and what the person's thinking and feeling. And then we clarify these cards with a different Rider-Waite deck and give you the outcome of what the end of the week seems to, what the messages, because these are just messages underneath. It's the outcome that kind of starts to portray, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. This is someone else. This is, you know. So that is pretty much what you get over there. If you wish to join, it'll be the silver or gold tier from the link provided below. Thanks very much, Gemini, and I'll see you soon.